I'm just starting out, and one of the questions I had was, I want to make as much money as possible. How do I do that? On the flip side of that, I'm sure there's other people who are like, if I'm first starting out, would you recommend just making my wholesale fee like super low? That way the cash buyer makes a lot of money. I build a relationship really quickly with them. They like me because I'm not greedy, quote unquote. Have you had that situation happen? And would you recommend that for someone starting out? Or would you always stick to 10,000 as a baseline?
Use $10,000 as a starting point, because what's going to happen is we're not going to be as good submitting offers. We're going to overanalyze. We're going to overinflate the ARV on what the property's going to sell for. We're going to deflate whether we know or not the repairs. We're going to underestimate, and a lot of times your wholesale fee, you will have to eat into that in order to wholesale the deal effectively. Yeah. So if you don't know what you're doing when you're starting out and you say, you know what, my goal is just to make $1,000 wholesale fee, and you plug that in, you run all of your numbers on that, and you assess the property wrong, well, when you have to reduce the purchase price by $5,000 in order to make it work, you can't go to your wholesale fee and reduce the price. So you give yourself a hedge with $10,000 too. I think that's another important thing too. There's a hedge there where there's a $10,000 gap between what you want to sell it for to your cash buyer. Right? If you get a property under contract at $190,000 and you want to sell it for $200,000, you make that $10,000 difference. Right? If your cash buyer, or let's just say you got under contract at now $198,000 because you're like, I just want a $2,000 fee. I'm not going to be greedy. Yeah. And now the cash buyer says, no, man, I need it at $195, and you can't reduce the price by $3,000. You shot yourself in the foot. You shot your cash buyer in the foot. Now you've taken all this time because you didn't put a $10,000 gap in there. So I think it behooves everyone, whether you know it or not, to have a $10,000 fee. There's more room in there. Increases the likelihood of you actually closing the deal, gives you negotiating room. Now the flip side of it, say you have a $10,000 wholesale fee estimate that you want to get. And the only way, right, you've tried to change the price, the purchase price, to reduce it so you get your cash buyer to buy it at a reduced price, so you make your $10,000 wholesale fee, and that doesn't work out. Or you tried finding other cash buyers, and this is the only cash buyer you have. Then for sure, shave off money off of your wholesale fee, build goodwill with your cash buyer, take $1,000, $2,000 wholesale fee, and say, hey man, or hey girl, whatever he or she is, and let her know, hey, I really wanted to work with you on this deal. I was willing to take a cut on my wholesale fee in order to make this happen. I want to be your number one deal provider. I want to close deals with you. The better we have communication, the closer I can work with you, the bigger profits I can bring you. So this next time around, if we can work even more closely together, then I can make you larger, flip profits. Right. And from you taking that server approach, from you understanding their numbers more, increasing communication, that's going to allow you to make bigger wholesale fees. Right. When you go off in your corner and you try and play this game all by yourself, and you don't talk to cash buyers, and you don't understand the goals to work with them and sit on the same side of the negotiating table rather than across from each other, once you realize, hey, you're actually working, you both have the same goal in mind. You both want to make as much money as possible. So when you can have that relationship with your cash buyers, and I always say they're partners, to your business. They're not necessarily in your business, but you guys are partners. You both have the same goal in mind. You both want to make money from this transaction. What's going to happen as you start to wholesale multiple deals with the cash buyer, one in particular, there's going to be some deals where might be tighter for them, and they say, you know what, I usually wouldn't do this deal, but because of our relationship, I'm willing to take a $20,000 flip profit or $15,000 flip profit, and I'm going to make sure you get your $10,000 wholesale fee. Yeah. So if you're working with good people, there will be times where they scratch your back and you scratch their back. Like understand that. So if you're actually are being greedy, if you actually don't have other people's interests in mind, no one's ever going to want to scratch your back. You're going to burn bridges. Yeah. So the best relationships I've had, we're on the same level. We both know we want each other to win. I'm willing to take a lower wholesale fee sometimes, and they're willing to take a lower flip profit sometimes. Yeah. Because the other thing is, right, if you can keep closing deals together, you keep running their business, if they can pay you a little more, like this week or this month, than the last time, they know they're helping you out. So the more they keep you in business, the more they're helping their business. So when we see, hey, this is actually mutually beneficial, and you see that, then we're going to be working together. We're going to, like, you're on the same team. and we treat it like a game. It's like a video game. We both want to win.
Yeah.
You know?
So I guess one of my fears is, say I have, the first cash buyer I find, they're interested in the property. They know a lot more than me in the real estate space. I'm a beginner wholesaler. So I'm kind of afraid to be like kind of pushed around by them, right? So it's like they say, but I want to make this much, so we're going to reduce the fee that you have. So I guess 2 questions. Is the fee that I'm going to make disclosed right away? When is that disclosed? And have you ever had like a cash buyer like kind of push you around? And how did you negotiate your way to get to $10,000 for your fee?
That's a phenomenal question. So let's say communication is so important. So let's say I'm talking to a cash buyer for the first time. Tell them what you expect from a deal.
Yeah.
Tell them, hey, generally we expect about $10,000 on a deal. Does that sound good?
Right. So being upfront that with them, yeah.
So cool. Now you're planning $10,000 in their mind, all right, from the get-go. I'll tell you what, a true cash buyer, sophisticated cash buyer, does not freaking care what they pay you unless they hit their minimum profit that they need on a deal. Mm-hmm. A true cash buyer, sophisticated cash buyer, is willing to pay you $100,000 on a deal as long as they hit their minimum profit on a deal. The truth is, a cash buyer, if you bring them a good deal that hits their minimum profit, they shouldn't care what you make. You should be rewarded for putting a property under contract significantly under value.
Yeah.
If you do have room to get a $50,000 wholesale fee, you can make a $50,000 wholesale fee. This fix and flipper could make a $40,000 wholesale fee, given that this is a $500,000 property, right? They're not taking on exponential risk because it's a $2 million property. Mm-hmm. You can get larger wholesale fees just like we do and we've done.
Yeah.
So that's really important just to have that knowledge there. And now the second part of your question was, do we disclose that wholesale fee? That leads perfectly into it, right? Mm-hmm. So if we previously preemptively let them know, hey, we're shooting for at least $10,000 wholesale fees, now they know in their mind. Now the expectations are aligned somewhat from the get-go. And this can happen. You meet a cash buyer, you talk about that 2 weeks prior before you even find a deal for them. Mm-hmm. Cool. You set yourself up for success in that regard. Now, when we assign the contract, the wholesale fee is disclosed. So they will know how much they are paying us.
Yeah.
But this is why strategically what I teach all of our clients or students, even what I share online, is that when I reach out to a cash buyer, let's say you have a deal under contract, let's say you got it at $190,000 under contract. Mm-hmm. You know that. And you know that it works at $200,000 for your cash buyer, and they're going to make a $40,000 wholesale fee on it at $200,000.
Yeah.
When I talk to my cash buyer initially, when I send them an email of the numbers on this deal, I'm going to tell them, hey, the ARV is $320, the repairs are $40,000, your purchase price is $200,000. I'm not saying, hey, I have it under contract at $190,000, my wholesale fee is $10,000, the repairs are $40,000, and the ARV is $320.
Right.
You don't want them thinking about your wholesale fee at all. All you want to do when you talk to them initially, if you're dealing with a contract, is does this deal work for you at this purchase price or not? Mm-hmm. That's all we need to discuss at this point in time. You don't need to worry about my wholesale fee.
Right.
Because guess what? If you know it works at $200,000 for them, and you got under contract at $50,000, or sorry, $150,000. Let's use that example.
Yeah.
At $150,000, you should be able to get a $50,000 wholesale fee on it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we don't tell them the wholesale fee up front, because our discussions with the cash buyer is, do they want it or not? And let's talk about, does $200,000 work for you? And if not, we can then talk about adjusting the price if we need to. Mm-hmm. But good cash buyers will let you know, hey, yes, it works for me. Maybe it does. Maybe they need to be sold on a little bit more, or like, no, it doesn't. Whatever they say, maybe or no, I'm asking what price, where would it work for you? Mm-hmm. I need feedback. Feedback. And the best way to mitigate your risk is never pigeonhole yourself to one cash buyer. All of this can be alleviated if you do exactly what I say and you find 3 to 5 cash buyers. Mm-hmm. 5 is better than 3, let me tell you that. Because now, let's say you have the same conversation, same email to all of them, and say you're worried about getting taken advantage of. The likelihood of being taken advantage of on 5 people that you've authentically built relationships with, that you both want each other to win, that you're taking the server approach, taking the time to understand what they want, the likelihood of being taken advantage of from 5 different people that don't know each other is probably really low.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The likelihood of being taken advantage of when you only have one particular person, one exit strategy, one cash buyer, it just increases. You don't have a backup plan yourself. So when I say 3 to 5 cash buyers, that's just to let you know, and anyone starting out, you don't need to find hundreds. If you find 3 to 5 local quality ones, and the goal is that you're aligned and have this mutually beneficial relationship in mind. You're aligned, you both want each other to win.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that are narcissists. There's a lot of people that only think about themselves. There's a lot of people that are sharks. They are out there. I'll admit that. I don't want to work with them. Right? The person only thinks about themselves. I want to be on a team with my cash buyer. I want us both to win. So you said, hey, I'm afraid of being pushed around. I mean, another thing that helps is having, consultants or advisors or coaches or mentors that can talk you through this. Like a lot of what I'm talking about is over 12 years of experience doing this. Doing deals all across the United States. So you don't know what you don't know, and I understand that. And I'm trying to explain as much as I can, and also why a lot of these answers to these questions are so long-winded, because there's a lot to unpack in 12 years. There's a lot from hundreds of deals to unpack in here. But you mitigate your risk of being pushed around. You mitigate your risk of, getting someone negotiating your wholesale fee by not telling them your wholesale fee initially.
Right.
By telling them their purchase price, and just by having multiple cash buyers.
Yeah.
100%.
Avenues that would most likely pay the $10,000 that I want. Right.
Yes.
If one doesn't, I have 4 more options. That's why that pool's so important. Yeah.
Exactly. And I generally say, hey, find 3 to 5, because I believe in the good in people 100%. I believe if I call a cash bar, I'm like, hey, let's get coffee too. Like, let's check in. Cool. Do you have kids? Where are you from?
Yeah.
I think I'm making this person like me. I hope they don't want to take advantage of me.
Yeah.
If they do, cash buyers are abundant. I'll never work with that person ever again. That's fine. There's people like that I've had. It's like, okay, cool. I don't need you in my life. You don't need to be a part of my business. That's fine. There's dozens of other cash buyers that I could be finding.
Yeah.
So that's I think a lot of people think these cash buyers may be scarce. They're not. They're not. There's more out there. So if one doesn't want to work with you, or they're pushing you around, find another one.
Yeah.
And so
I think also it's like thinking about them as a person like you too. It's kind of hard for a beginner to come across. You imagine them as a shark only trying to make money, and if you don't come in hot like a shark too, that they might deny you. But realistically, it's like there are cash buyers who are just like you, who
100%.
are kind and want to work with you on good deals, and will just be a normal person. Yeah, so it's really good that you said that.
Yeah, sure. The when we say cash buyer, right? Like, your name is Tim.
Yeah.
And when I think about cash buyers, it's Nate, it's Chris, it's Troy, it's Brian, right? Yeah. So first name basis. When I say cash buyer, I'm grouping all these different types of people in there. I know the person I'm talking to. I know the person on a first name basis, right? The relationships with my cash buyers, just so you understand when they get to, it's like, cool, we invite each other to each other's birthday parties, or children's birthday parties. We, hey, let's go hang out on the bay or the beach, hey, man, I have an extra computer monitor I'm not using. Do you want it? Hey, man, I have this extra ticket to this event. Do you want to go? Those are the relationships that go on. And some of the cash buyers I worked with are some of my best friends 12 years later.
Wow, yeah.
Because we have so many similar interests. So I think if your goal is to get to that level of you both want each other to win. It's kind of like a friend in a way. And so if you just take that approach, you're going to be good. No one develops a really good friend in one day.
Right. Yeah.
So these relationships can be built over time. And at the end of the day, you can throw all the relationship stuff out the window. If you just find them a good deal, the cash buyers will buy it. Be on the lookout for the next video in this series. And if you want to build a hyper-profitable wholesaling and flipping business, then check out my full in-depth training at realestateskills.com/watch. I'll see you there, and happy wholesaling.